Come in.
Hi, Sandy.
Hey, Madison. Great to see you.
Hi, it's great to meet you. And how are you doing today?
Doing good. How about you?
I am doing well. I'm really excited for this meeting.
Oh, for sure. Me too.
So, here's my business card before I forget.
Thank you.
And I had a really lovely time meeting Bobby over the weekend and learning some more about the Duluth operating group.
Mm-hmm.
We had a nice time at the game, and so I'm glad that he helped set up this meeting.
For sure. I'm very happy to be here too.
Good. And so, I really believe that Salesforce could be a great fit for the Duluth operating group. But before we jump to any conclusions, I just wanted to meet with you so that I could gain a better understanding of the business and what the issues might be. And then we can take the appropriate steps moving forward.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
And so, is there anyone you'd like to add to this conversation?
No, I think just the two of us will be fine today.
Okay, great. And we have 20 minutes, correct?
20 minutes? Can't go any longer than that, though.
Okay, no problem. I understand that time is very valuable.
Thank you for understanding.
And before we move forward, here's our agenda for today. So like I said, I want to gain a better understanding of the Duluth operating group, and we want to uncover some of those issues that I heard from Bobby and some others in the organization.
Totally understand.
And then if we feel that Salesforce could be a good fit for the for Duluth operating group, we can move into a live demonstration, and I can show you all the benefits that Salesforce has to offer. And then we can take the appropriate steps moving forward after that.
Okay, sure. Sounds good to me.
All right. That sounds great. And do you mind if I take notes today?
Oh, sure. I'll be taking notes myself. I do that every meeting.
Okay, lovely. And I'm going to start out by asking you a few questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, great. So, like I mentioned earlier, based on my conversation with Bobby, he said that your company is looking to implement a new CRM system. And two of the main concerns that he brought up was forecasting sales reports for each branch and improving the communication between the sales and maintenance teams. And I was wondering if those sound familiar to you.
Yeah, I'd say among other rooms for improvement we're looking at into a new system, I'd say Bobby definitely was right about tackling those two issues specifically. Okay,
so those two are the main ones, correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. So I want to go ahead and just start with the current process of forecasting sales. And I would like to get a better insight on how those forecasting is currently managed between Bobby, the Vice President of Sales, and those districts and those territories.
Yeah, sure. So for each branch, we have a branch manager, and every quarter they submit a report on the current sales forecasting that we're doing at each branch to Bobby, and from there, Bobby reviews it and makes adjustments and updates as needed. Okay,
I understand. And so if that happens once a quarter, is Bobby able to look at any sort of sales report in between quarters?
So Bobby does get these reports directly from the branch managers at each quarter. So if there is an in-between point where Bobby has a meeting coming up or he needs some more up-to-date information than just the data from the past quarter, he has to directly contact that individual branch manager. So I would say to best answer your question, it's on an as-needed basis that he gets that information. Okay,
I understand. And also, the way that Bobby views these reports, is he able to view the 4 locations that you have? Is he able to view those on one platform, each territory's report, or are they separate?
So because he's getting those reports separately, he does end up compiling them himself when he wants to look at an overview of all of the sales. So I'd say, he has a way to accomplish that. It may not be as easy as it could be, and it does result in him spending a little extra time each month, each quarter, compiling everything.
Okay, so the CRM system that you currently have doesn't allow for that.
So it does not. It silos our 4 branches.
Okay, I understand. Well, that does sound like a bit of an inefficient process. And going off of that, I did some research before this meeting today, and I saw that your revenue in 2016 was $48.6 million. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and then that's also up from roughly 3.5% from the previous year, 3.5%.
That sounds right, about 3.5% from the previous year.
Okay, that's great. I love to see any company that has positive growth. But my question is do you think that with Bobby's current inability to access sales reports in between those quarters, and in addition not being able to see them as a whole unless he compiles them himself, is that inhibiting the ability of the company to grow?
So I think that's a good insight that you have. The way we currently receive reports from our branch managers is on that quarterly basis.
Mm-hmm.
So Bobby makes recommendations and changes at the end of each quarter.
Yes.
That does, in a way, could affect his ability to try to analyze or look for new innovations to improve our growth. So from year to year, I definitely think that's something we can improve upon.
Okay, so right now it doesn't seem like a problem, but maybe long term it could be a problem.
I'd say so.
Okay. And then taking this a step further, I also did research on forecasting for your growth over the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so it shows that if everything remains the same, that the Duluth operating group is on track to grow 4% incrementally, which, like I said, is great.
Mm-hmm.
But if you could have that real-time sales forecasting to where all branches could be viewed on the same platform, do you think that percentage could increase?
So I'd say having those immediate sales forecasts rather than on a quarterly basis, having to wait for them and compile them,
waiting.
but just immediately seeing them, I think we could definitely see an increase in our ability for growth.
Okay.
To put a specific percentage on it, I'd say, right now, if we were looking at that 4% of growth a year, I think making those changes, we could enable our team to, go more than double that, look at, 10% growth every year would be absolutely incredible.
Okay, yeah, that is good, and you know what? I like that because it's a very attainable goal.
Mm-hmm.
It's larger, but it is very manageable. And so, going off of 48 million, that would be roughly 4.8 million
mm-hmm.
Growth over the next 5 years.
That's correct.
Wow, that is very impactful. So now that we've looked at some of the issues that Bobby specifically is facing. I thought that I should also reach out to some district managers from the different territories. And I specifically spoke with Teresa, and she's in that Jacksonville office.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was mentioning how that whenever there's issues with a client and a management has to get involved, that can be a slow process, maybe slower than necessary. And I was just wondering if you could elaborate on that.
Well, that definitely is an issue I knew about. And just, hearing that Teresa would say that definitely makes me realize how much of a concern this is.
Yeah.
So basically, our current system doesn't allow our management team to see a sales rep's client information.
Okay.
It's siloed to them. And so when there is an issue with a client or we get contacted or we have to bring in a new manager, our branch manager or our sales rep has to bring Bobby and I up to speed on the situation because we have no way to look at what's going on with that client. And so this ultimately results in conference calls, strings of emails, and we have also been known to fly out to the branch to directly get the feel of the situation and see what needs to be done.
And that's only to get caught up to the situation, not to take proactive steps to improve the situation.
Ultimately, sometimes it does end up in just us going there to get an overview where we just, it's not capable of us getting that information remotely.
Okay, I understand. So it does sound like there's a unnecessary barrier between management and sales representatives just with your current CRM system. And I'm afraid that this could be affecting the ability to give your clients the best experience possible. Do you think that's a possibility?
So although this is a slow process, we do, ultimately resolve these problems, create a better client experience.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I would say it is negatively impacting us. We're not able to address these concerns as fast as possible because there's that blockage, that barrier of information.
Yeah, of course. And that's really frustrating. It's something that I believe, there's a solution for out there. And delivering a great experience to the customer is incredibly important, whether it's, the Duluth operating group or even at Salesforce. That's what we pride ourselves on, which is, why I'm here meeting with you, because it's very important to me.
Of course, thank you for being here.
Oh, yeah. And so if this continues and you don't implement a new system and don't have that sense of urgency, what do you think is going to happen to these client relationships in the long run?
So when we have these issues, it's a slow process to fix.
Yeah.
And as we continue to grow, we'll have more clients, maybe expand to more branches. It's going to be more and more difficult for us to understand the situations there if we can't see the information.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't like thinking about this, but I have to think about this. It's my job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd say in the future, if we can't find a way to better handle this, we could end up losing some of our best clients, some of our long-term clients that have been with us from the start. Right now, we're doing well, but in the future, that's definitely something that is on my mind.
Okay. We certainly don't want that to happen. And now that you've brought up and we're talking about the client to sales representative level on that level, I think it's a good time to mention that Bobby also discussed that the sales representative's process of inputting the maintenance orders for their clients, and that's a bit of an issue. So what does that current process look like?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to explain that. So our sales reps will speak to a client, will receive, a maintenance request or maybe an updated service. From there, our sales rep would directly contact either a maintenance team official or one of our maintenance team managers.
Okay.
Via email or phone call, whatever it may be.
Understood. So it sounds like it's a bit time consuming. Do you think you could put a number on the amount of hours per week that your sales representatives spend on this?
Well, for you speaking on it being time consuming, that's it can be time consuming, it cannot be. I'd say it becomes time consuming when our maintenance reps recontact our sales reps to gain more information on what that request entailed. So I'd say our sales reps spend anywhere between 1 to 2 hours a day working directly with maintenance about that new request. Okay,
I understand. Yeah. Wow. And so, that's lost time that's spent with, focusing on your clients.
Yes.
And so I have some of our client data here, and for a number of our clients that this is a common issue. And for a client similar to the size of the Duluth operating group, in the first 18 months of implementation, we have had clients gain up to 10 hours or more per week to give back to their sales representatives. And what could happen to your sales team if we gave them back that crucial time?
Well, I think that's incredible that you were able to give them that time back just through Salesforce. And that 10 hours a week is pretty close to what we're currently losing. So if we could give my sales reps another 10 hours a week, I think that could be a significant game changer. We'd be looking at having them more time to speak to our prospects and convert more leads.
Okay, and then speaking of those prospecting and converting, could you put a possible number on how many new leads or new accounts that you could see them having?
Well, I'd say 10 hours a week more time, be able to contact our leads, that could ultimately lead to a 10% increase in new accounts.
Wow. Okay, that is really impactful. And I do think I've gathered all the information needed. We discussed ways for better forecasting for your sales team, having that increase of client visibility between your management, upper management, and sales reps, and also being able to streamline that process of maintenance orders inputting. And I think now that I've got a better understanding, we can move into a live demonstration, and I can show you all the ways that Salesforce could give you benefits to solve these problems. Are you ready to move into that?
Yeah, let's do it. Definitely show me everything you got.
Oh, great. Okay, well, I'm going to come over here, and I am going to sit near you, and I'm going to bring up the Salesforce platform so that I can show you all the benefits that we have to offer.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, great. So this is going to be the home platform that you're seeing. So for the first issue that we've addressed, talking about having that forecasting all in one central location, I just want to come over here to reports. And if you could click on the sales exec pipeline. Okay, so this is just one of the many reports that we have to offer. Okay. And so what Salesforce does is it has it in real time so that not only you can break it down into a certain pipeline, but you can break it down for certain territories, the different locations, different sales representatives, even down to different products. Okay. So it doesn't have to happen every quarter. Now it can happen anytime that Bobby wants to look at that.
So this would be up-to-date information on the sales. And Bobby and I could look at this at any time?
Anytime.
Okay.
And secondly, I would like to address having that client visibility. If you go to accounts right here and click on any of these accounts, anyone is able to view the accounts so that there is full transparency, full visibility, so that whenever any issue arises, one of your sales reps or district managers can contact you or Bobby, and y'all can look in real time and be able to see all of the past opportunities, contacts, touches that your sales representative has had with the contact.
Wow, this would save us so much time for mitigating issues with our clients if we could just see all their information right here. And this is definitely something that we don't have in our current model.
And that's what the added benefit is, that you're going to get that time back, and then your clients are going to be a lot more satisfied because it's going to be a faster turnover time to solve those problems.
Fantastic.
And last but not least, I do want I'm actually on the same accounts here.
Okay.
You can click on a different account.
All right.
And so this is also a similar platform where you can see all of the orders that are coming through specifically for that account. And this is a real benefit because now there's full transparency once again for your maintenance team and also for your sales team. And on top of that, I know you spoke on where that time spent comes in is mostly the back and forth contact.
They have to look back at their email chain,
Exactly.
figure out what's going on between the maintenance requests and the sales team. That's great.
So we have a chatter option where you can chat back and forth. So instead of having an email component where you have to scroll and find the emails, you can just chat in live time, and it's all on the same platform as where those orders are so that everyone is on the same page and knows what they're talking about.
So my maintenance manager could have a direct dialogue with the sales rep right here?
Yes.
About the account?
Yes.
Wow. That is unbelievable.
And is there anything else you'd like me to show you today?
That was definitely a lot to look at, and I definitely want to see more later, but I think that's going to be good for today.
Okay, great. I'm really glad that I could address all the issues.
Thank you. So that was all, awesome and shiny and new and really impressive, and I think it could really help us. But I have to be honest with you today, Madison. I'm really worried about how much this is going to cost us. We are a smaller, growing, but we are a smaller company. I'm not so sure we can afford this.
Yeah, I completely understand. Price is always something that we have to address and talk about. But that's why I wanted to meet with you and speak so extensively about the issues that you're facing, because I did want to get a good feel of the problems that your company is facing.
Okay, absolutely.
So for 35 people for using Salesforce and the fee per month, it comes out to $2,975. And then on top of that, with 12 months in a year, that's $35,700. And then with an $18,000 one-time fee of the installation, it's a total of $53,700 per year.
Okay.
And I did want to be upfront with you on that, but I also want to address the added benefits that come with Salesforce.
Sure.
And the value that you are given to your company with this CRM platform. So what we discussed is getting an added $4.8 million a year with that 10% increase of having the forecasting that Bobby and other district managers are able to see. And then also giving your sales representatives 10 hours back per week, which ideally they would be able to convert into a 10% increase in new accounts.
Okay, yeah, that's correct.
And also just increasing that client satisfaction, which at the end of the day is what it's all about. Because if your clients are happier because you are focusing on them, and we have that management and district manager and sales representative transparency, then at the end of the day, that's what's going to increase growth the most. So I did just want to compare that against the cost. And at the end of the day, I think it's, insurmountable added benefit by, going with Salesforce.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate you spelling that out for me. And when I look at, the two sides of the table, the cost, but then we see all that money and time that we get back, I think it definitely changes my value proposition for Salesforce. And, we're certainly interested.
Of course. And like I said, I did want to take the time and just outline that for you. Because there are so many great benefits, and all of the benefits that I've showed you directly address the needs that the Duluth operating group is facing. And so, I feel like we're towards the end of the conversation, and I thank you very much for your time today.
Oh, yeah, it's been, I think, very beneficial on both of our parts, so this was a great meeting. Of
course. And so I just want to see where you're at in the process. I know you said that 30 to 60 days. And so I wanted to know, where you're at in the decision process.
Yeah, so we're definitely looking to make a quick change, but I can't just sign off on anything just yet.
Yeah.
I need to go back, speak to Bobby, talk with the rest of the team, and I think this may be a good fit, but I'm going to have to see what the guys back at home think.
Of course, and I fully respect that. I would love, though, if you wouldn't mind, if we could meet sometime in the next 2 weeks to give you adequate time to think it over, but also so we can reconnect.
Yeah, sure. I believe I have some free time Tuesday afternoon next week.
Okay, great. Well, you know what? I will be sending that in a follow-up email, and then if anything changes, you are more than welcome to let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll speak with my people, and we'll get back real soon.
Okay, well, just again, I really, I'm very happy that we were able to meet today, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Madison.
Right, have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.